Well, in a dramatic turn that should surprise no one, Baldur's Gate 3 is now problematic, but not for the reasons we thought. What's up? It is I. Good morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's the 24th day of August, 2023, and I'm the OGGM coming to you from a rainy, drizzly Site B in Ventura, California with a sick again Steve the cat. And we've got some news regarding Baldur's Gate 3. So, in 2013, Baldur's Gate came to an end. Everybody was like, Baldur's Gate 3, can't wait. Baldur's Gate 3, you got to continue the story. We got to know what happened to Baldur's Gate. We got to know what happens to Minx and Boo. We got to know what happens to Drizzt. 2016, we got an expansion, kept us pretty happy for a while, but then we're like, oh, come on, Baldur's Gate 3, Baldur's Gate 3. Finally, in 2020, they announced it. We started seeing pictures from it, and people were like, oh, I cannot wait. Here we go. August 3rd, it hit the shelves, and people were like, this is the best thing ever. Thank you so much. Baldur's Gate 3. And Wizards is like, oh, look at Baldur's Gate 3. That was totally us. Yeah, we're going to totally support Baldur's Gate now here at Wizards. And people were just like, I love this game. I love this game. I love this game. There's nothing wrong with this game. 10 out of 10, 20 out of 10, 100 out of 10, 11 stars. Even the very controversial SEX scenes and some of the other stuff has been just saying, oh, that's okay. That's beautiful. The scene with the guy and the bear, that's beautiful. That's okay. We love it. Baldur's Gate could do no wrong for about 17 days. 17 days, dude. 17 days. The paint wasn't even dry on the side of the building. And already we are getting Baldur's Gate is racist. Baldur's Gate is inappropriate. And of course, my favorites, Baldur's Gate is too hard and it's not anything like 5e. I can't do the things in Baldur's Gate that I can do in 5e. Baldur's Gate is racist. Yep, here we go. We got from this magazine on the 18th by Alyssa Shotwell from a magazine called The Mary Sue, so take it what you will. Apparently there's a plot in Baldur's Gate where you go beat up an evil witch, and it is being seen as harmful fantasy tropes, stereotypical, and racist. Okay? Sex with a bear, okay. Beating up a evil tree witch who's killing and eating children, racist. There's a Tieflings in the case. And apparently the Tieflings are racist because somebody said it makes me kind of think it's a black person and therefore it's racist because he's got darks. At first, the logic leaps to go from half demon, half human, Tiefling. I've got, Russian accent. I mean, let's face it, the Tieflings, we all know the Tieflings are Russian accent, dark skin, red hair, the tail. They're like, oh, yes, look at me. I am Tiefling. Look at my hoof. Tieflings are awesome, They're like, and then now it's like, oh, it's racist. If anything, people would be like, oh, it's racist against Russians because you gave them Russian accents originally. Remember in the 4th edition cartoon when they first were introducing Tieflings? Then they're like, look at me. I am Warlock now. I can set things on fire. And they had the little Tiefling Warlock female. And they had the gnome. And he's going, I'm a gnome. I've got a lair and a badger. And she set him on fire. And like that set the precedence that Tieflings were going to be Russian for like forever. But apparently now they're racist. And more importantly, Baldur's Gate is too hard. So let's just move past the article where you go attack and beat up the witch. And apparently that's not okay. Baby eating witch getting burned and punished for her sins. Not okay. Racist. Inappropriate. Bear sex. Ogre sex. Cannibalism. Fine. We're okay with that. It's beautiful. And then, of course, we have this article. I don't know where this is from, but it apparently is saying that the combat encounters are particularly tedious. It is not for a person with imagination or empathy. It is very specifically designed program meant to deliver a narrative experience that can only be stretched so far. So it's too hard. There's only so many things you can do with it. It doesn't look like 5e. It doesn't play like 5e. It's more of just a hedonism, greed game, blah, blah, blah. Wine, wine, wine. I am Veruca Salt. I want everything now. This game is not good enough, does not give me the same experience that an actual real-life role-playing game does. So therefore, it's awful, and it's horrible, and you can't cheat. Oh, here's what. You can't cheat rolls. The game doesn't take sympathy on you. You must play the role the way it is given, even when it leads to utter disaster. The choices are roll with the blows or reload. So basically, what you're saying here, and I mean, I know I'm a little dumb. We know that I am a uneducated, with no experience, white belt scrub DM who's an idiot. But it sounds to me like you're describing a video game. Now, I don't know if you know the difference between video games and real life, but in real life, you can do whatever you want, and only common sense and the law is stopping you. You want to have your character in a D&D game jump up on a table, take his hammer, wrap a rope around the hammer, throw the hammer, have the hammer hook onto a chandelier and swing across to kick somebody at the other end of the room? Well, that's just a few dice rolls in real life, at a real life D&D game. But in the Baldurs Gate game, well, there's only so much that program can compensate for. You know, it is designed to be a top-down RTS MMO fantasy role-playing game with limited, still it's got a lot, but still limited options for what you can do. And if you try and do something the game isn't programmed to do, like, I don't know, show empathy, it won't let you because it's a video game. And it's only designed to do so much. So if you're complaining that you can't fidget with it or power game it, or you have to just roll with the punches because it's based upon how you position your character in the encounters, like every other video game ever before it. Really? It's the 24th, okay? It came out on the 3rd. They're still beta testing it. They're still patching it. It won't be completely finished and ready to 100% be considered done, according to the designers, to late September 2023, maybe even further. And then there's still the possibility of patches. So the paint's not even dry, and already we're getting racist, sexist, inappropriate, bad game, doesn't match a real life 5e experience because I can't cheat. It doesn't show any empathy. I'm only limited to the technology that's currently available in video games, which, you know, at this point in time is fucking amazing, but I guess compared to what I had when I was a kid, but apparently it's still not like real life. Well, I don't know. Why don't you just take the $150 you spent on Baldur's Gate 3, see if you can get a refund, and instead use it to buy a copy of, I don't know, Wretched Vigilantes by yours truly, and play an actual role-playing game instead, where then you could do all the things that you're complaining about you can't do, like show empathy. Hey, DM, I don't know if I want to kill these guys. Is there some way I can talk my way out of it? And the DMU would be like, sure, yeah, you know, tell me what you're going to say, roll some dice, whatever, blah, 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 blah. To various states of role-playing. Somebody will tell me, you know, Shoner will say that's not role-playing, that's Mother May I. But you know what I mean. Basically, in the game is only limited by your imagination and what the DM is willing to let you get away with. Video games are only limited by a series of zeros and ones and every possible permutations of zeros and ones that the designers came up with. And the designers had to make a product that would appeal to a massive audience who had been waiting for 7 years, which means it has to go from hardcore D&D fans to casual gamers, to e-girls, to Iron Mouse, to just whoever's going to play this game. And it has to be a video game. So all the things you're complaining about, you could do perfectly fine at a table or in real life, but you can't do at the game. And if that's your complaint is, I can't cheat, basically, the way I can in 5e, Pick a different day. Pick a different game. And I just want to say again in closing, bear sex okay, but beating up evil tree witch who's eating babies, not okay. What does that tell us about our 5e friends, where bear sex is okay, but killing a baby eating evil witch is not okay? It's racist. Is it appropriate? The Tieflings are a racist trope of black people. No, they're not. Their Tieflings have been the same forever. They haven't changed. If anything, they're racist against Russians. Anyways, that's all I got to say about that. I find it just funny that the paint isn't even dry. They're not even done patching it yet. It's still in it's 20 days old, dude, and you're already like, this is not fun. It's not appropriate. I fucking hate this game. It won't let me cheat. Dear God, grow up. It's a game. It's a video game. Talk to you soon. Let me know what you're thinking about Baldur's Gate 3, and we'll move on to something far more important, maybe. Till then, like, share, subscribe, and notice how I hit a secret shout out to my merch there. You know what you should buy with your Baldur's Gate money? Head on over to the Red Room and pick up Wretched Vigilantes and Bad Guys Always Lose, written by yours truly. Link down below. I'll talk to you later.